All right, so with reports of Jim Harbaugh reportedly possibly head to the NFL pretty soon to be the next LA Chargers head coach, he's meeting with them today for a second time, and with rumors that it's pretty close to being done. They're currently working on contract discussions, so it could be official by the time you even watch this video. But with that being said, let's go ahead and look at 10 coaching candidates here for the Michigan Wolverines. Now, whoever comes in, you might be dealing with some sanctions here, depending on whatever goes down with what happened with Michigan last year with the sign stealing situation. Uh, Still don't know exactly what the heck went down with that. Was sneaking on, you know, other teams' sidelines, stealing their signs, all that good stuff, sneaking to games, getting sideline access. I don't know. It's crazy. Uh, let's go ahead and look at 10 candidates here. Then at the end of the video, we'll eliminate these guys, and I'll give you who I think they should hire and who I think they will hire. All right, so first candidate on the list here, Sherrone Moore, Michigan offense coordinator, was their interim head coach this season when Harbaugh was gone, beat Ohio State in the process, and really did a pretty outstanding job as the interim guy. I would say is the early favorite. I really don't even know if you need to have an open search. Just go ahead and hire Moore. That would help you keep your guys in house. Hopefully, hopefully you can hold on to Donovan Edwards if that happens. He did lose a lot to the pros anyway, so you're going to kind of be doing a rebuild regardless. But this would help you, keep the guys you got intact and kind of just keep it going. Next up, Jesse Minter, Michigan defense coordinator. Now, there are rumors currently circulating that he is headed to the NFL with Harbaugh. Was in the NFL previously as a position coach with the Ravens, and then Harbaugh brought him to Michigan as the DC. This would be a similar scenario where, you're keeping it in-house and kind of trying to withhold what recruits you have, what transfer guys you have already. All right, so next up, Brian Kelly, LSU head coach, former Notre Dame head coach, has been the name circulating the most as far as outside non-Michigan wise. And usually where there's smoke, there's fire there. Interesting fit. A lot have said, he doesn't really necessarily fit LSU, but he is a good head coach. Won a lot of games in Notre Dame, made the playoff. So he's definitely a winner, probably a top 5 coach right now. But like I said, some have said he doesn't necessarily fit LSU. So is he interested to get back in closer to a place where he does, quote unquote, fit? And that would be Michigan, a little closer to where he had success at Notre Dame. It's possible. Sorry about that. All right, so next up here, we've got Matt Campbell, Iowa State head coach. Matt Campbell, similarly from up in that area, has coached at Toledo before, which is in Ohio, and then obviously just turned down, well, reportedly, not necessarily exactly turned down, but turned down the Arizona job, sort of. We don't really know exactly what went down with that, but was reportedly a finalist for that job. So does he get the job here? We'll see. I don't think so, but definitely a possibility. Next up, Dave Doeren, NC State head coach. Similarly to Campbell, has ties up in the area, coached at Northern Illinois previously, went to school in Illinois, and so that would be a little closer being to Michigan. Really one of the more slept-on head coaches in the nation. I would say probably the most underrated coach, to be honest with you. Not a name you get thrown around a lot, but when you really dig into his stats, he's won a lot of ball games at NC State, which is kind of why I think they're going to be a playoff team next year, but that's for another video. Definitely an intriguing option to me if I was running the hiring process. Next up, Luke Fickell. All right, we know he took the Wisconsin head coaching job. Is he interested in leaving? I don't know. Didn't have the most success at Wisconsin, but backtrack to a year. Let's say last year when he was leaving Cincinnati before he was at Wisconsin. If this job had opened up, Luke Fickell would be number 1 on everybody's big board. Took Cincinnati to the playoff, and not many other people could do that. Take a group of 5 school to the playoff. Really, nobody else has done it. Heck, I think he's a top 10, top 5 coach probably. While I didn't have the most success at Wisconsin last year, like I said, nobody has taken Cincinnati to the playoff besides Luke Fickell. And yeah, definitely an interesting option. Next up, PJ Fleck, Minnesota head coach. You're probably wondering why the heck is PJ Fleck on this list? I'm wondering the same thing, but backtrack to last season. Before this previous season started, the betting favorite to be the Michigan head coach this season, this upcoming season, was PJ Fleck. Very interesting. I don't know why, but look it up. It's a true thing. prior to last season, when Harbaugh started the season, suspended, they started a bet as far as, who's going to be the head coach next season, opening day for the Michigan Wolverines. It was PJ Fleck. That was a betting favorite. Really strange to me. I don't think they even entertained this hire. He hasn't had enough success at Minnesota. His row in the boat days are not working at Minnesota. Now, Minnesota's not the easiest job to win, but I think he needs to do a little more to get Michigan consideration. Next up, Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame head coach. We've seen other coaches leave Notre Dame. Brian Kelly. Could Marcus Freeman be looking and doing the same thing? All right, he's an Ohio State grad. I would say Michigan is a step up from Notre Dame, while Notre Dame is really way up there, probably a top 10 job, top 5 arguably. Michigan's probably a top 2 or 3 job. People try to get that Michigan job a lot, and definitely has a history of success. So could Marcus Freeman be looking to make that jump? It's definitely possible. Like I said, Kelly left, so what's to say Marcus Freeman wouldn't? Next up, Lance Leipold, Kansas head coach. Reports are that he turned down the Arizona head coaching offer to be their next head coach. So could they be looking sorry, I said Arizona. Same with Matt Campbell. I meant Washington. I meant Washington. But turned down the Washington head coaching job to reportedly take a pay increase. But was he holding out to get the Michigan job? It's possible. Has had success at Kansas. Has had success previously in that area, particularly Wisconsin, up in that Big Ten region. So definitely an interesting option. I don't think he's won enough ball games at Kansas for me to give me hope at Michigan, but definitely an option there. All right, last on this list, Mark Stoops, Kentucky head coach, recently got the A&M job, and then something happened. He backed out. Really weird scenario there. Is from Ohio or up in that region. Reports have been said that, he could be the next guy at Iowa if that comes open. Definitely has won ball games at Kentucky, but hasn't won quite enough, as you can see from the backlash from the A&M hire. So I definitely don't think he's a legit option there. All right, so let's go ahead and break down this list a little bit. Let's mark out the guys I don't think are realistic. First off, Mark Stoops. Like the guy, but like I said, he just got ran out of town for the A&M job. Twitter was going nuts when that got announced, so Michigan's not hiring him. Sorry, guys, I'm struggling here. All right, next name we're going to cross off here, PJ Fleck. Another guy I like, row the boat. It's catchy. Won at Western Michigan, but you're not going to hire a 500 coach from in conference. It's not happening. Sorry, not sorry. All right, next name we're going to cross off here is going to be Matt Campbell. Matt Campbell, similar scenario. While he does have ties to the area, has he had enough success at Iowa State to be worthy of Michigan? I say no, but, maybe Michigan's coaching search thinks otherwise. All right, next name I'm going to cross off here, Jesse Minter. I'm fairly convinced that he's headed to the NFL with Harbaugh. Now, I could be wrong there. We'll see. Watch me be wrong. But I think he's headed to the NFL. That's where he was previously, like I said. So it sounds like he's interested in getting back. Next name we're going to cross off here is going to be Lance Leipold. All right, like I said, took a pay raise at Kansas and hasn't won enough ball games at Kansas for me to be worthy of that Michigan job. But definitely an interesting candidate. Probably he'll get to the Big Ten at some point, just not yet. That'll probably be next year. But next name I'm going to cross off here, Marcus Freeman. All right, while he is an intriguing name, a young coach with ties to the area, like I said, he played at Ohio State. Hasn't won enough games at Notre Dame for me to be considered for the Michigan job. Honestly, with another semi-okay year at Notre Dame, he should probably be on the hot seat. So why would Michigan hire him? I don't think they will. Next name I'm going to cross off here, Dave Doeren. I really like this guy, though. He's a really good head coach. Doesn't get the recognition he deserves. Top 10 coach for me in the nation, and really deserves a lot more recognition. Go look him up, Dave Doeren. He's won a lot of ball games at NC State, which is not an easy place to win by any means. All right, so the final three here we have Luke Fickell, Brian Kelly, Sherrone Moore. Really an intriguing final three. Like I said, let's go back to last year. Let's say they're trying to hire Luke Fickell from Cincinnati. I think you hire Luke Fickell here. Really with any job. Like if Luke Fickell was still on the market, as far as that is concerned, I would not be surprised if Ryan Day was already gone and Luke Fickell was at Ohio State. But obviously, time has changed. He's been at Wisconsin now, had an okay year at Wisconsin. Not the year they hoped for. So kind of lowered his stock a little bit, I would say. I still think he's really high on people's stock list, but has lowered his stock a little bit, I would say. So I'm going to mark off Luke Fickell, but definitely an interesting name to keep an eye on. If there's a sleeper that is going to get this job that is not being talked about at the moment, I think it's Luke Fickell. All right. Last but not least here, we have two names left. Sherrone Moore, who I would say is the favorite right now, versus Brian Kelly, who has been rumored that he is very interested in moving back up and going to Michigan. And usually, like I said, where there's smoke, there's fire. But with as good of a job as Sherrone Moore did this year as in terms of interim head coach, the dude beat Ohio State. How can you not give him the job? So we're going to mark off Brian Kelly. I think Sherrone Moore is the guy. I think that's who they will hire, and I think that's really who they should hire. He's earned the right, in my opinion, to get a shot at being the Michigan head coach. And as intriguing as this list is, there is some very intriguing names here. I think you can't go wrong with Sherrone Moore. Now, it may not work in the long run. We'll see. But I think you got to go Sherrone Moore. He's held out, from what I've been told, from other head coaching jobs this cycle because this has kind of been a rumored thing that might happen. So I think it's Sherrone Moore, and I'm pretty sure that's what Michigan's going to do. But do me a favor down in the comment section. Let me know who you think they will hire and who you think they should hire. If you were running this coaching search, if you were the coaching firm, who would you hire for Michigan? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video, and most importantly, subscribe.